Milbury is a special place. It's a place we built with our own hands. A place we spent some of our happiest times. And a place we watched our families grow. The thought of seeing it disappear, well, it doesn't bear thinking about.
It's a wonderful club here. I'm very passionate about where we are at Milbury here because this is the spiritual home. And when you think of the history, when the members bought the club in 1964 and they bought the ground here and they converted it all themselves, and it's been sort of work in progress ever since, but it's been running a shoestring for far too long.
I got wind that there was a real move to sell Milbury and move to Dam Park, and I didn't want that to happen. I understood why it was being proposed. The rugby club is like many institutions and organisations. We're a bit like a stately home, lots of assets, no money.
There was always talk of the club moving because they had no money. At that stage, they were going to move to the Dam Park and basically have the rugby at the Dam Park. And I just felt it was the wrong place for Ayr Rugby Club to be. I was very strongly of that opinion. It's right in the heart of Burns country, and it's a phenomenal asset to the town.
Over the period of time, I'd approached Alan a couple of times as a local businessman and asked him if he would help me. And we talked about it, but nothing really happened. And then COVID hit and everything changed. And when Barry died, he obviously wanted to do something positive.
The McDonald legacy is in memory of my son Barry, who he died suddenly at Amsterdam airport. He just dropped dead, and it was a shock to the whole community here. And I had to obviously come to terms with that because he was my only son. And the more I thought about it, I thought, well, I should do something for him in his name. Not only my son, he was my best friend. He was just a wonderful son. I couldn't have asked for any more. He was like a brother to me. We did loads of things together. And it's just unthinkable to think that he's gone. He left me 3 lovely grandchildren, Adam, Verity and Amber. And they're all involved in the club and they come around here as well.
I was in work and Alan McDonald appeared out of the blue and said he wanted to speak with me privately. So we found a quiet area of the building, and he said to me, I want to give you £1 million.
But we want to change the whole fabric of the building and make it totally sustainable with no debt for the club going forward.
So I'd had a couple of meetings with Alan, and I was round at his house, and upstairs he's got his kind of home office, and we were talking through what things might look like. I'd had plans drawn up of what we could maybe do for £1 million. £1 million is a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money when you're doing a lot of work. So after one of these meetings, I was walking out of the long room, and just as I got to the end of the room, Alan called me back and said, Brian, don't be so blinkered. And I thought, what does that mean? So I looked at a few clubs down in England that had recently sold land, built new facilities, and one was good, one was very good, and one was excellent. And I put together a 60-page document and I emailed it to Alan, and I was always under the impression Alan never read anything I sent him. But at the next meeting I walked in, I was walking down that big long room again, and I only got about halfway down it, and he looked up and he said, we'll go with excellent. I'll give you $3 million. The challenge we've got now is, obviously the building's been running a shoestring budget for a long time, and we need to update the fabric of the building. We need to invest, but we need to do it in a way that we keep that heart and soul. Well, without the McDonald legacy, we'd probably be where we were before. There would still be debates going on whether we we sell the club, or indeed the club may have been sold by now. The McDonald legacy came along at the right time, and it allows us to solve the long-standing issues we've always had at Milbury. One was access. So phase one of the McDonald legacy is bringing the new road in from Murdoch's Loan, which will be a game changer.
The second phase of that will be a new all-weather 4G pitch with floodlighting. It'll be multi-use because we'll be able to play football on it, ladies football. The kids will be able to be boys and girls, be able to play here as well.
And phase three will be redeveloping the clubhouse, the changing rooms and the facilities.
They're going to have a state-of-the-art facility that will come in all times of the day. There'll be yoga classes here. There'll be all sorts of different events here during the day. It ties in well with the Burns Centre next door and the cricket club, the hotel down the road.
The gym in particular is going to be huge. We'll be bringing in a cafe, and it will really be a 7-day operation.
I foresee it becoming busier and busier to the extent that it'll be a real community asset.
When I was looking at how do we save Milbury at the very start, I started looking into the history of the club. And my good pal Gus Mackay, who sadly passed last year, he had access to the archives and very kindly pointed me in the right direction. He found a film, an 8mm cine film, which was had been filmed over a number of years by a guy called Hamish Frew. What we've got here is incredible. It was gifted to us in the early 60s by the members who made the bold move at the time to buy an old market garden. Did all the work themselves, knocked down the greenhouses, made the road in. We're just caretakers, we're just passing through. So what the McDonald legacy is doing is similar to what they did then, and we're saving it for future generations to come.
I couldn't think of a better legacy for Barry because he was around the place all the time. He's still around, I'm sure.